I'm Julian McCran, manager of the Roy Morgan poll, stepping in today for Roy Morgan CEO Michelle Levine, who is unavailable. The final Senate results for the new Parliament were calculated last week, and there were a couple of surprises. Most notably, One Nation won Senate seats in Western Australia and New South Wales, meaning the minor party has 4 seats on the new Senate crossbench. In addition, Senator Dorinda Cox from Western Australia, who is not up for election this year, decided to leave the Greens and join the ALP. The new Senate, which is due to sit for the first time in July, will comprise 29 Labor senators, 27 Coalition senators, 10 Green senators and 10 crossbench senators. To secure a Senate majority, Labor can do deals with either the Coalition or the Greens to secure a majority of at least 39 votes, or less likely, all 10 Senate crossbenchers who do share diverse views. And now, the first Roy Morgan poll since the federal election was conducted throughout the month of May, with over 5,000 electors interviewed, and support for the re-elected Albanese government has increased. Two-party preferred support for the ALP increased 3.2 percentage points since the federal election to 58.5%, well ahead of the Coalition on only 41.5%. Roy Morgan's government confidence, whether people think the country is going in the right or wrong direction, increased a large 15.5 points to 97 in the month of May. Although despite the conclusive election result, the indicator still remains below the neutral level of 100. Now, a plurality of Australians, 44%, say the country is going the wrong direction. That's down 8.5% since April, compared to 41%, up 7%, that say the country is going in the right direction. And looking at the states now, the ALP leads the Liberal National Coalition on a two-party preferred basis in all 6 states, including Queensland, the only state the Coalition won a majority of the vote at the recent federal election. In New South Wales, the ALP is up 3.5%, up 3% in Victoria, up 2.7% in Western Australia, and up 3.1% in Queensland since the federal election. And in Queensland, the ALP has now gained the lead, ALP 52.5% to the LNP on 47.5%. The ALP's largest two-party preferred lead is in Tasmania, with over 70% of the two-party preferred vote, and the party maintains a large lead in South Australia. The ALP also holds large two-party preferred leads amongst both genders following the party's win at the federal election. For women, the ALP is on 61% compared to the Coalition on 39%. For men, the ALP is on 55.5% compared to the Coalition on 44.5%. Analysis by age shows the ALP leading for all age groups aged under 65. The ALP's largest lead is for people aged 18 to 34, with ALP support at over 2/3 of this age group, while the closest result is for people aged 65 plus, with the Coalition holding a narrow lead, the LNP on 51.5% compared to the ALP on 48.5%. Clearly, the ALP is in a strong position after its large election win in early May. Moving on, the latest ANZ Roy Morgan consumer confidence, based on interviews conducted last week, has fallen 0.6 points to 86.4. A look across the index shows the driver of this week's fall was less confidence about personal finances over the next 12 months, with a net movement of 3 percentage points in the wrong direction. The consecutive weekly declines following the Reserve Bank's decision to cut interest rates shows the initial reaction of consumers to that interest rate cut has not been positive. It is important to understand that this decline is broad-based. Consumer confidence over the last 2 weeks is down for renters, homeowners, and people paying off their mortgage. In more concerning news, ANZ Roy Morgan inflation expectations were up 0.3% to 5% last week. Australians now expect inflation of 5% over each of the next 2 years, and this is the highest level for the indicator for over a month since late April. And finally this week, Roy Morgan released the highly anticipated latest quarterly survey results on Australia's most trusted and distrusted brands for the year to March 2025. And for a 6th straight quarter, Bunnings is Australia's most trusted brand. Bunnings is followed by Aldi and Kmart in second and third places, and filling out the top 6 are Apple, in 4th, Toyota in 5th, and just ahead of Australia Post in 6th. Within the top 20, the biggest movers were the Commonwealth Bank, up 4 spots to 12th, most trusted brand, and ING, which was up 2 places to 20th. The biggest sliders were Target, which was down 4 spots to 16th, and the ABC, which slid out of the top 20 for the first time into 21st. The major supermarkets, Woolworths and Coles, were again Australia's 2 most distrusted brands, with some familiar brands filling out the top 5, including telecommunications company Optus in 3rd, social media giant Facebook Meta in 4th, and Australia's national carrier Qantas in 5th. Interestingly, there are now 2 Elon Musk brands within the top 10 most distrusted brands in Australia: X, formerly known as Twitter, in 8th, and electric car company Tesla in 10th. Both lost ground in the most recent rankings. A key factor in the rising distrust for X and Tesla has been Elon Musk's association with the Trump White House. Just last week, Musk stepped away and announced a return to run his companies. We will keep a close eye on whether this decision by Musk begins the process of brand repair for both X and Tesla. Thanks for your interest in Roy Morgan's latest results. Roy Morgan CEO Michelle Levine will be back next week to bring you the latest results for consumer confidence, inflation expectations, and business confidence. Subscribe free to our Roy Morgan YouTube channel for all the latest political, economic, and market research data and insights. Thank you.